got distracted. I've got people cleaning my gutter, and I'm highly suspicious that they didn't actually do anything. Why? Because I asked why they didn't clean the front of the gutter, and he went to go and try and find a rag, and he told me he couldn't find a rag. And I was just like, so you come to clean my gutters and you didn't bring a rag. I'm highly suspicious that you didn't do anything. And yeah, anyway, whatever. But yeah, so going back to the video that I was talking about, the important issue about whether or not it's important, it's, this video that I was just watching she was saying that you should really only post videos if you feel that they're sort of necessary or essential and stuff. And, I think it's different well, I'm Christ. I know that I'm Christ, and I feel like it is different for me than it would be for the average person. Why? Because I feel like um, I feel like I'm things are happening to me that I'm supposed to share and supposed to teach people through sharing. And so yeah, I feel like, is it wrong or right? I think if you have concerns about a child, because you think someone's, not doing things correctly, it's probably best to just send the videos to social services, or to send them to, people who have been concerned, that, can help protect the child. But yeah, I think because I'm Christ, I feel like I probably am allowed to share more stuff, because I feel like Sophie's not doing a terribly bad job, but it's kind of, when you don't think someone can look after a child, but it's debatable as to whether or not they can look after it. On one hand, it's not that bad, holding a child without holding the neck. I'm pretty sure anyone that has a baby will do that at some point. Sometimes the hand slips, or you don't have it, and if he's floppy and moving around, it's hard to always hold him correctly every single time. And so a lot of the things that I have shown are things probably that a lot of people might do, but the consistency of how often they do it, like technically my sister did leave the baby in the bath water and ran off, but I was there only 1.5 meters away. So it's debatable as to whether or not that's right or wrong, because she would have known that I was there and would have known that if anything happened, I would have come to his attention. But yeah, it's true that she didn't actually consider that at the time. It was just go off and get the soap, rather than, Anna, sit closer, I'm going to go off and get the soap. If I was bathing the baby, I would make sure that someone was sitting right by the baby, and not just standing 2 meters away. But at the same time, I'm sure there's many people that might make that mistake, and feel like it's okay to leave a baby in a bath water, providing someone's seeing it, rather than just being very close. But I don't know. With Sophie, it's debatable about whether it's right or wrong. And I feel like people should know some important things if it can teach. And so, yes, when it comes to privacy, when a child gets to 3, 4, 5, 6, this is when they actually become a proper thinking person, who's, going public about a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old. This will affect their life. This will affect everything about them. But the debate about whether it's right or wrong when they're a baby is slightly different. Why? Because however they look now, this is not how they're going to look in a year's time. This is not how they're going to look in 3 years' time. And therefore, yeah, I feel like if they're very, very young, they have no concept of their privacy being taken away from them, because at the same time they're so young that, if I saw a picture of me when I was a baby, I wouldn't see that as being me. I would just see that as being a baby. That they're so young that it's not like I wouldn't feel like my privacy. My mum is an awful mum, and I'm pretty sure she probably left me crying a couple of times, quite a lot. I don't really know. She's sometimes in her own world. But yeah, there were videos of me. I know there's a picture of me when I'm like a baby, and there's a Snoopy dog right next to me, which kind of indicates I'm the bad luck child, because that's what Snoopy was. Oh, the Snoopy boy was a bad luck child. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't feel like if there were baby pictures of me that my privacy had been invaded. Why? Because I wouldn't look at that baby and think that that was me. I would just be like, well, that's just a baby. I don't recognize him or her as being me, because I'm a girl. And so yeah, I feel like when they're very, very young, it might not be so wrong, maybe. But yeah, there is the issue of who's watching, and are they going to are there pedophiles that are going to be like getting off on the thought of it, and therefore it's probably wrong to post, definitely, because but yeah, I feel like Instagram though is slightly different, and I don't know about TikTok as well, but TikTok is more for comedy. I feel like if you make a video for TikTok, it's more for comedian, it's more for entertainment, and therefore to put a baby on TikTok or a child on TikTok, um, I don't know. I mean, there's some cute 3 year olds that say some silly things, and it's really cute, and it's not invading a privacy, I don't think, but it's more like watching, kids do crazy things. There's like a TV program with that, so I feel like, yeah, it's a complex subject about whether or not it's right or wrong to post videos of children, and yeah, especially if it's children suffering. But the videos that I have of my sister's baby, he's not suffering. It's more an insult to Sophie than to the baby. But at the same time, I feel like you can learn things from it. So I don't know. But I've got some other videos where I got a feeling that the baby was going to be taken away, and I've just taken a few videos of just me holding the baby just before he gets taken away, so that I can remember, like, so I can look back and remember it. But yeah, because I like posting everything I do online, it's kind of like, should I post that? Should I not post that? I don't know. I feel like the reasons for posting it would be because I want to show my ability to look after a baby, and so I'd kind of be like, this is my baby, and or hopefully a baby that's going to be in my life, and this is how I look after him, and this is how I treat him. And I think as Christ, I feel like it should be important to show, um, you know, how a person thinks about a child and puts them first, but at the same time is putting them on YouTube and exposing them to all sorts of terrible people in the world. Is that really best for the baby, or is that really best for you? And so yeah, I don't know. It's still a unanswered question about whether or not I should post it. I mean, maybe you could post small clippets, and there's one picture where he's just looking around and he's like looking at almost disgust, and it's just like, yeah, I'm agreeing. My mum's a hoarder. She's got a messy house. Yeah, I'm making a joke that he's looking at all the stuff, thinking, I want to throw that away, I want to throw that away, I want to throw that away, because that's what I would be thinking when I look around my parents' place. I think, I want to throw that away. I was guessing that the baby was thinking the same thing, because that's kind of the expression that he had on his face. And my mum's in the background just being like, they're not going to take him away, everything's fine. Oh no, he's not looking at the stuff in disgust. And yeah, just completely ignoring the fact that he is actually looking at the room in disgust. But yeah, should I post it? Should I not post it? I don't know. It also shows how like floppy his head is, which is if you don't know anything about babies, I feel like you would assume that after 3 weeks they can hold their head up, and I just don't think that about this one. Hence, I'm sort of exposing and teaching people how fragile the baby is. But then again, that's also a bad thing. You shouldn't be teaching people how fragile a baby is, because that might make him a target to predators. And if my sister's a bad mum and I'm exposing that, am I putting the child at more risk if Sophie is going to be living with that child? I'm not going to expose where she is or anything, but at the same time, it's you know, Sophie is yeah, maybe I shouldn't even talk about her. Shouldn't talk about the baby, because if someone is a risk, telling people that they're a risk is not what you should do, because um, that will put the child at risk. So no, there's nothing wrong with her. She's fine. I can't even pretend that. But yeah, I mean, I'm Christ, and if my higher self knows, if you want to hurt that baby, my higher self will know. See, there we go. So it's slightly different for me, because um, but then again, there might be loads of people that don't believe that I'm Christ, don't believe that I'm God. Hence, whatever you're thinking, I don't know. It's a really hard subject. If I was just a normal person, and if you think a baby's at risk, no, you probably shouldn't expose it on media, because you are telling the world that you think this child is vulnerable, and that's not what a message that you want to be telling to terrible people. But then again, it's different, because I'm Christ and I believe that I'm God in higher form. I also think that I'm the devil as well, because God and the devil are the same person. And yes, if you want to hurt that baby, I will happily cut you into 100 pieces. And yeah. I don't know, but I've had a call. It'd be cool if Rihanna did a video about, hey, if you want to hurt my baby, I'm gonna bloody beat you up. But yes, Rihanna represents my dark side. So yes, I don't know, but you don't want to get on my dark side, and so I feel like even if I am exposing the baby as a possible problem, I mean not the baby, but Sophie as being a possible problem with the baby, then that's bad. But at the same time, I'm also saying that I'm God and that I'm the devil and that I can my higher self can do a lot of things and is very powerful. So yes, am I really putting the child at risk if I also am saying and promoting how I'm Christ and the devil at the same time? So I'd like to know your opinion, but no one's talking to me right now, so it's a hard one.